don't know if you could hear that. Okay. So welcome everyone. Let's start with the block. And if it feels all right for you, then you can sit onto the block and just have the feet either side the block. And you can also make your hips higher by having 2 blocks if you need it. And if that doesn't feel comfortable at all for your knees, then you can always just sit cross-legged. Okay? We'll see if you can get comfortable in this way. You might be feeling a little bit of a stretch through the feet. Rest your hands on your knees. Lift your shoulders up and down the back. That's it. And just make sure you're not tense in the neck, so you can let your head move from side to side and up and down. So just taking a little moment to stop before we start. I like to rub my hands up and down my thighs, just to feel that connection there. And we can also draw a few circles with the shoulders. Good, and then just taking the circles the other way. And hopefully the sitting bones are pushing down nicely into the block, helping you to lift up nice and tall. And then find a comfortable place where you can just close your eyes and settle for a moment. So if you have a block, sat on the block, if you've just joined us, you can sit cross-legged if it's not comfortable in Virasana in this way. But once you find that comfortable seat, just let your eyes close and let the breath flow in and out through your nose. Okay, take a moment to take stock of how you are today, where you're at today. So you might have Ujjayi breath in your practice. So it's just where you press the back of the tongue towards the back of the throat, restricting the airways slightly. So as you breathe in, it makes a wave-like sound as you breathe. Same as you breathe out, it's like this wave-like sound, or some people say it's like Darth Vader. So a few rounds breathing in and out through your nose, using that Ujjayi breath. And if that isn't something that you understand at the moment, you're just breathing deeply in and out through your nose. If it's something that you would like to understand, you can always message me and I can go into it a little bit more detail. For now, we just want our breath to warm us up, to bring our awareness inwards. With the Ujjayi breath, you can hear it. You can hear your breathing a little bit louder. So that gives you another anchor to hold on to. As you become comfortable within the breath, your breathing will slow down. Your mind hopefully will calm down. Your body will start to relax. So a few more breaths. Yeah, you should be feeling that pause at the top of the inhale now. And the pause at the bottom of the exhale. You can imagine the breath traveling around your body. So we're going to introduce some belly pumps, getting into Kapalabhati, that breath of fire. So all you'll do is you'll take a breath in And you'll exhale fully. You'll breathe in halfway. And then it's 30 belly pumps. So as you exhale, the belly pumps in. 30 times like that. Okay, give it a go. If you don't get to 30, take another breath in and fill yourself up. Do what you can. Okay, so we'll take a breath in all together. Open your mouth and exhale, let it go. Breathe in halfway. And 30 belly pumps from there. Find your own rhythm. Maybe it's slower or faster than mine. And when you get to 30, exhale completely. Inhale fully. Let's open your mouth and exhale, let it go. Just breathe normally in and out through your nose. Hopefully you haven't scared the animals, the pets around you. Just notice if that helps with anything or if it changes anything. Hopefully it creates a little bit of fire. If you haven't quite got it yet, don't worry. Let's try again all together. So you're breathing in, fill yourself up. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Breathe in halfway. And then 30 belly pumps. Yeah, shooting out the nose as the belly pumps in. And once you get to 30, exhale completely. So there's no air left inside. And then inhale fully. And then open mouth and exhale, let it go. Just breathe normally in and out through your nose. Checking in with what's changed, if anything. Visualize that fire. It's like you've stoked the fire within your belly. I'm going to go for one more round, and then we'll come out of this shape. So full breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Breathe in halfway. Sharp exhale, belly draws in. When you get to 30, exhale completely. Inhale fully. As open mouth, exhale, let it go. Last little moment just to check in with that. Yeah, maybe you feel a little bit dizzy, then don't worry. We're going to fold over in a moment. But if you do need to lie down on your back, put your feet up in the air, that's fine. Otherwise, just let yourself fall forward so you can keep the block where it is. Then if you're cross-legged, come into child's pose and you can sit the block underneath your sit bones and reach your arms all the way out in front. Forehead on the floor. Yeah, if you want, you can have a block underneath your head if that's difficult to reach the floor. Let's try and relax the hips. Try and relax the legs. Maybe you can still feel a fire in your belly there. You can let the head roll from side to side. So if you built up some tension in your jaw or your neck trying to work that out, then hopefully that can release that. Notice the longer you stay here, the more you can relax into the hips, the deeper that you'll start to sink. Taking 2 more breaths, slow breaths in, slow breaths out. Last time, you might be really desperate to get out of this pose. Just hang tight a little bit longer, unless you really need to come out. Bring the hands back underneath your shoulders. And we'll come up onto all fours. We can leave the block there for a moment. And we'll start to draw a nice circle with the head now. You might really feel like you want to shake out those hips, so if you do want to send the legs back and give the legs a little bit of a shake, you can. And then bring it back to the head. So we're getting that nice big circle with the head. You can close your eyes so you don't get dizzy. And then take the circle the other way. That's it. And then bringing the head back to neutral. We'll do the same with the shoulders. Okay, so you puff up, round into the back, move over to the right, let the chest drop, send it over to the left. Big circle up towards the sky, and then take it back over to the right. Again, you can have your eyes closed through all of this. Try and create that nice big circle with your shoulders. So it takes a little while to get used to it, or to make the most of the space that you already have there. And then this movement hopefully helping to find more space. Good. And then we can swing it back the other way, rounding into the upper back, pressing through the hands. If you need to shake out your wrists at all at any time, go for it. That's it. And then we'll bring it back to neutral and we move it down into the hips. So a big circle with the hips now. Everything's staying the same. You feel the tuck of the tail, the core strengthening as you round the lower back, and then the core lengthening as you arch the lower back. So the core is definitely with you on this journey here, helping to support your back. And the leg bones moving within the hips. Now you take the circle the other way. That's it. And don't forget, you can shake out those wrists anytime. From here then, think about now bringing your right hip towards your right shoulder. So it's like you're doing a crunch on the right side. And you can have a little look over your right arm towards the right hip. And just feel the left side lengthen, the right side crunch. We'll bring it back to the center. Now bring your left hip towards your left shoulder. So you're shortening the left side. And then have a little look over the left shoulder. See if you can get a bit more length through the right side. Crunching the left side. Come back through center. And then squeeze the right hip towards the right shoulder. You can look over the right arm. Crunching the right side, lengthening the left. Take your left hand over to the right hand and come onto the fingertips. And then reach the left fingers towards the right side. So you can lift the arms, the left arm off the floor, and try and get that extra length through the left side as you crunch the right. Make sure your back isn't arched, your lower back isn't arched here. And then we'll lower the left hand back and bring the hips back through center. Squeeze the left hip towards the left shoulder. You can look over that left arm. Bring the right hand next to the left hand. And then walk the right fingers towards the left side. So trying to find that space there on the right side. Inhaling. Good. And then exhaling. Good. Swinging that right arm back. And bringing the hips back through center. Your cat-cows now. Let the belly sink. Draw the shoulders towards the tailbone. Lift the head, chest up. And then as you exhale, tucking the tail, rounding into the back. A few more times, go with your own flow. If it feels a little bit sticky in your back, don't go down so low. Yeah, keep the core engaged so you don't arch your back too much. A few more times, inhale, lift the head, chest up. And then exhale, push away and round into the back. Yeah, let's do one more. Rounding into the back. Now stay rounding into the back. See if you can rock the shoulders over the fingers. Lift the head, chest up. Bend the elbows and arch the back. And then push the hips back towards the heels. So you go chin to chest, round into the back. Take the shoulders over the fingertips. Bend the arms, arch the back, and then push the hips back towards the heels. Enjoy it a few times. See if you can get a little smooth pathway. Exploring how much mobility you have in the spine. You might have a little bit more than you realize. Just trying to find the right pathway. Now enjoying the journey. If you need to adapt it, change it, go for it. You're strengthening the arms, strengthening the core, awakening the spine. Last one. Good, and we'll come back onto all fours. So getting a different twist now. Take the right arm underneath you, or moving the spine in a different way rather. Let your side of the head rest on the floor and your left fingers can move to the top of the mat. Okay. So remember how we brought one hip to the shoulder to crunch the side, and then the other side was lengthening. Bring your awareness to your left fingertips and your left hip and try and move those 2 points away from each other. So you're getting that length there through the left side. And then take your awareness to your belly button and follow all the way up towards your head. And see, where is the spine moving from? Where is it opening up from? Where do you find the space? Good, and you take your left arm around your back, snuggle it around your right thigh, and try and open up the top shoulder. You're breathing in and breathing in. Good. Let's extend that left leg back. If you want to put your left hand on the floor, you can, just for that extra bit of balance. And I just want you to feel the stretch through that left calf. Really lift the hips up. Good. Release the left hand back down. You can lower the left knee. And then pick yourself up, come back up onto all fours. We'll shake that out with a little cat-cow. Let the belly sink and lift the head, chest up. And then exhale, push away and round into the back. So you're coming back to neutral. I'm going to take the left arm underneath you towards the right side. Side of the head to the floor, right fingers to the top of the mat. And like you did earlier, so think about those right fingertips and travel from the right fingertips all the way to the right hip. You're trying to create more space there. You can do that by pushing into the back of the left arm. That helps me a lot. And then take your awareness to your belly button and follow from the belly button all the way to the head. What's the journey of the spine there? How much mobility have you got there? You might want to thread the right arm around the back, try and stack and open up that top shoulder. You might want to extend your right leg back and press the toes into the floor. And see, maybe there's a bit more room to open up that top shoulder. Yeah, play with it. Try arching the back here, the lower back. Now see if that helps lift the sit bones up. Remember the breath of fire that we did. It's highlighting the core. Hold it here. Use those core muscles. And then you can release. Lower the right knee down. Release the right hand. And then pick yourself right back up and into that cat-cow again, just to shake it out, letting the belly sink, lift your head, chest up, and then exhale, round into the back, chin to chest. And from here, come into a neutral spine. We're going to slide your right knee to your right wrist. Move your right foot over towards the left side. Now take hold of your block. Let's place it underneath your right hip today, whether you need it or not. Find where you can sit comfortably there. And then just walk your hands back for a moment. Now, we don't want to be dumping in the back and overstretching there. Just think about keeping the tail tucked. You're going to get this extra stretch through the front of the left thigh, and then lift the head, chest up here. Yeah, so I could sink into here, but really lean back like that, and really dump into my lower back. We're going to try and push away and round, so I'm not breathing in, so it's a little bit more work. Breathing out. So even if you are flexible in your lower back, it's much better to get those muscles engaged unless you're doing a yin class, it's particularly for that. But here, if I sit and wallow in my lower back, it's not going to do really good. So my muscles are working to help support me as I lift my chest up. And pushing down into that block as well. Take one more breath, just thinking, imagine like there's a string from your chest, drawing you up. Yes. And then you can fold forwards for a moment. Relax your back. You can take your arms out in front. The block is still there. If you want to rock side to side, you can. Stillness is good. Breathing in. Breathing out. I'm going to change the position of the block now. So if you walk your way back up, take the block out. Hopefully it's all right to sit there. You can keep the block there and use another block if you want. But tuck your back toes and lift your back knee. And try and slide the block underneath your left thigh. Yeah, so it's just above your knee. If you need to come up a bit higher, that's fine. Use your hands. Just explore it. And your back can relax if you fall forwards. Now try pushing down through that left leg, the left leg into the block, squeezing the right hip back. Your right leg might be talking to you. That hip getting nice and deep. Just breathe into it, and of course you'll come out if you need to. We'll take one more breath there. And then slowly come back up. Okay, just fall onto the right side. We're going to take the block away and swing your left leg to the front of the mat. Come into what's called Janu Sirsasana, your right foot pressing into your left leg. And we're going to use the block on top of this left thigh now. So you can try and lift up tall. Good. And then lower over the block. You can reach for the hands. You could use a strap if you can't reach hold of the hands. You can have your hands around your calf or on the floor. As you inhale, try and draw the chest forwards. And as you exhale, try and relax into the block. Okay, so the block giving you that extra stretch around your back. You'll feel it now when we take the block away. Got your Ujjayi breath if you got used to that at the beginning. It's a nice way to focus on the stretch, focus on the breath, focus on you, to stay in this moment. Take one more breath. You want a nice long lower back here. If you lift yourself up slightly, take the block away and then fold over the leg. Just notice, has that given you a bit more space? Drop into that left hamstring. Good. We're going to come back up. So take your hands back. Let's just bend that left leg and give it a little shake out. We're going to come to pigeon on the left side now. So all we need to do is lower the left knee down and extend that right leg back. And we'll put the block underneath the hip. Once you're there, just take a moment, look at the right hip. How's the front of that right hip feel? You can walk your hands back, come up onto the fingertips, and you're thinking about pushing down through the block, lifting the chest up. You remember that feeling of it's the string lifting you up from the chest. So that means we don't need to put the head back like that. We're just leading from the chest. You're breathing in, trying to scoop this right hip forwards. Breathing out, surrendering, pushing down through the sit bone into that block. Not dumping in your back, remember. If you feel like you are, you could always walk your hands forwards. One more breath. And then we'll start to walk the hands forwards. Take a moment there. Breathing in. Stay there for a moment. Let me just check something. Sorry, someone just walked in the house. And breathing out. Bet your hips feeling it now, so walk your hands back up. Well done. We're going to take this block away, sit the hip down, and then we're going to take the block underneath that right thigh now. Try and have it just above the knee. Good, good. Then once you feel comfortable, you can come down onto your forearms. Can reach the arms out in front, forehead down, and then you're pushing down through that right leg, squeezing through the outer left leg, sinking into the left hip. Maybe that left hip's talking to you again, like the right hip. Well, mine was anyway. Let's see if you can be here, really getting nice and deep into that left leg. Taking one more breath. That Ujjayi breath if you can. Good. And use your hands, walk your way back up. We'll fall onto this left side. Take the block, swing the right leg forwards. Make yourself comfortable now with your left foot and your inner right thigh. And you can pop the block onto your thigh. Push down, it's quite close towards the crease of the hip. Lift up tall and then fold over your right leg. Good. Hands either side of the foot or resting the hands on the calf. Wherever feels good. Inhale, try and draw the chest forwards. Exhale, you're pressing the belly down into the block. Yeah. You're trying to have a nice long back. So maybe that chest is up a little bit higher. Pushing down through your right leg. Pushing down through that outer left leg. Okay, letting go of tension. One more breath. Excellent. And then start to make your way back up. Now enjoy the difference. So take the block away and then start to fold it forwards. Hopefully there's a bit more space there for you. It always creates a little bit more space for me. Breathing in, gratitude for this right hamstring. Your knee can be bent as well, remember guys, I know you know that. One more breath. Good, and then we'll slowly come back up. Extend your left leg. Oh, actually, let's just take the hands back. We'll bend the right leg. Shake out that leg. And we'll extend both legs out in front. I love this. So bring your blocks onto your thighs, nice and close to your hips. Push down to lift up tall. And then fold over the block. And of course, if any of this doesn't feel nice, then you can change it. You know, maybe don't fold over so far, so you could change the block for a pillow to bring it up a little bit higher. See what suits you though. See where you can get to. You can always have your forearms on the floor. You can have your hands on the floor. Wherever you are, you're trying to draw the chest forwards and surrender into those legs. Trying to bypass the back, get into the hamstrings. Yeah, take one more breath. The inhale will lift you up, and then the exhale, come all the way up. You take the block away, see how that's helped. Don't forget, we can have the knees bent, totally fine. You can have your bum on a block, lift up tall, and then exhale, fold over those legs. So even with the knees bent, you should feel a bit more space. Inhaling, try and draw your chest to your toes. Exhaling, folding forward. So you can use your hands like weights to help you. And of course, you're listening to your body. You're not ignoring any signs that you're going too far. You're listening to those signs. One more breath. Good. All right, roll your way up. Catch hold of the block. Just have it in your hands, like that. Inhale, lift the arms up. Then exhale, see if you can fall forwards, reach the block past the feet. And then you can round into the back, roll your way up. Bring that block in, lift your arms up. So as you exhale, reach forwards, go as far over the toes as you can, round into the back, the core working. Bring your arms in, reach your arms up. 2 more times as you exhale, reach forwards, go as far as you can, and then round into the back. Bring the block in, reach the arms up. Last time, this can be done with the knees bent. Arms in and lift the arms up. Let's try going the other way, bringing the arms in, extending them out. Reach as far as you can, lift the arms up. And again, bringing the arms in and down, reaching away, reaching past the feet, and arms come up. Let's try 2 more times. Reach forwards, forwards, forwards. Lift yourself up. Last time, bringing the block down. Reaching the arms forwards, forwards, forwards. And then lifting the arms up. Good, let's stay here, pressing into the block. Just lean over to the right side without rocking too much into the left sit bone. Keep the right sit bone down. And lifting your arms up. Just lean over towards the right side. Squeeze your left sit bone down. Good, coming back to the center. Lower your arms, lower the block. Release it to the side. Shake out the shoulders. We'll take the hands behind. Bend both knees and then inner and out to rotate those legs. I'm looking forward to this now. So you're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Have your knees open. You might want to take your legs to a bit of more of a diamond shape rather than heels close to the pelvis. Put the block on the arches of your feet, and then fold yourself forwards, okay, until you can rest your forehead on the block. You might not be able to get the head to the forehead, so don't worry about the block in which case. If you can though, move those hips away until you can rest the forehead on the block. And without the block, then you're just going to where you can get to. Maybe it'll be a bit higher. Yes. Sometimes it feels like there's like a tendon that's not quite in the right place. So you can lift the knee up, give it a little shake out. That's what people have told me and what I feel myself sometimes. If you can get your head all the way to the feet, doesn't matter, use the block. Just relax your neck, relax your head. Okay, without the block, just drawing the head, chest forwards. Take a few more breaths. When you're ready, you can come all the way back up. Okay, bring your feet closer towards your pelvis now. And you're going to take the block underneath your feet. Have your big toes touching? I squeeze my toes together with my hands. Try and lift your head, chest up, and then start to fall forwards. Yeah. Now, if you want to have your bum on the block, you can do that. Change it. If it's okay like this, then be here for a little moment. If it's not, change it. Yeah, don't be here. You can just do this without the block if you want. If it's comfortable though, relax and breathe into it. Inhaling and exhaling. The only trouble with getting more flexible, and you can look forward to this, is that you just get very close to your feet. your head gets very close to your feet, which isn't always a great thing. Take one more breath. Very good. Lovely. All right, start to release. Bring your knees up. Take your feet off the block. And you can move the block away just to give those legs a nice little shake. Hold down. Slide yourself more to the top of the mat. Okay. Now have your block close by. Reach your arms forwards and then slowly start to lower down. So you want to feel each of the vertebrae as you lower down onto the mat. Now take your right leg up to the sky and you can start to circle the block. Circle your foot. And then circle it, the right leg, then feeling the right ankle, feeling the right calf, pointing and flexing as well. Then you can see if you can play with putting the block onto your right foot. Now, if you are one of those people that can't quite straighten the leg completely, then it might be a little bit difficult, in which case don't worry about the block. But if you can get it there and push through the foot, push through the block, and like the etiquette walks with the block on books on your head, same thing here. Try and draw a circle with the right leg, trying to keep the block where it is. Yeah, and then you can of course do this without the block, but I think the block just adds that little extra focus into how that right leg is moving within the hip. And then circle it the other way. And you have to be much more mindful because these movements, I don't need them to be big. They just need to be small, delicate, getting into the all those little muscles within the hips. Don't worry if the block's fallen and you've got frustrated. Let's try again, or not. Okay, and then you can bend the right leg, try and keep the block there as you turn your right toes out, right knee out. See if you can do a half happy baby holding onto the block with the foot. And of course, without the block is fine. And then try and straighten the leg. Yes, you have to be so much more mindful. Try it one more time, just bending the knee out to the right. And bring it into that half happy baby shape. I hope you haven't got one of those cork blocks. If that falls on your head, that won't be so nice. And then straighten. Good. All right, so bend the knee, catch hold of the block. It might fall, that's okay. And give the right leg a little shake. We'll pop the right ankle on the top of the left thigh. And just take a moment there, relax all of that. So your leg has been up in the sky, upwards, and all the energy's been drawing down the leg. So maybe you can feel that here. Just relax the right hip, relax the leg. Enjoy the sensations. And we'll thread the needle, sliding the hands around the left leg and drawing the left thigh into the chest. Use your right elbow into that right knee. See how the right hip feels. So you're flipping your pigeon on your back. Awesome, release the leg. And you can shake out that right leg. Let's pop it on the floor. Let's go for the left side. So I know my left side is much less articulate and responsive. So let's see how we go. So you're going to straighten that left leg with the block on the sole of the foot. And take your time to work it out. Where is the weight? How do you need to have your foot? How flexed do you need to have it? In fact, take the block off a minute. Let's get a little bit mobile in that ankle first. So you're circling the left toes. Sorry, guys. Circling the other way. Pointing and flexing through the foot. Yeah, so you've got a bit more articulation straight away in that foot. Okay. So let's try again. Pop the block onto the left foot. And then find where you can straighten the leg. So you've got to have a lot of awareness, which is what yoga is. A lot of focus, a lot of concentration. Just working on finding where you can balance the block on the foot. And then how does that feel down into your hip? And again, if this doesn't work well for you, then you can do it without the block. Just imagine that the block is there. Okay, so very articulate now. Move little circles with the left foot. And it feels so much more difficult on this left side. I'm really having to focus on where my foot is in space. And these foam blocks are a lot lighter than those cork ones, so I can't really feel the block on my foot. But I can feel how the leg is moving within the hip. All those little muscles that turning on. And then take the circle the other way. You know, when you do something articulate like this, or something that requires a lot of focus, are you still breathing? So check in with the breath. All right, from there, can you start to bend the left leg, turn the left knee out to the side. And can you bring the thigh outside of your left rib cage? Don't worry if the block falls, totally fine. And then straighten the leg, go back to where you came from. And again, so you're going to bend the knee, turn the knee out to the side, squeeze the thigh just outside of the rib cage. Are you breathing? And then straighten the leg. Okay, let's try that one more time. Bend the knee. Send it out towards the side. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then straighten the leg, toes towards the face. Good. All right, so now bend the leg, catch hold of the block. And then pop the left ankle on the top of the right thigh. Let that hip relax there. Breath in. Tune into the sensations in that left leg. You're welcome to stay like this or slide your hands around your right leg, threading the needle here. Pressing down through the sacrum. Breathing in. And breathing out. Lovely, guys. And then you can release the right leg. Take the left leg up and take the right leg up. Give them a little shake. Okay. Now we're going to then roll up just so you can catch hold of your block, and let's place it underneath your shoulder blades now. Okay, so at the beginning we did that little bit of mobility with the back. We've worked through the hips. We've brought awareness to the feet and the legs. And now let's spend a moment with the chest open. Okay, so now 2 options. Arms can come up and over your head. You want the block supporting your shoulder blades. You could also bring your hands down by your side. You could also have a block underneath your head if you feel like your head is falling back too much. 2 options with the legs. So you can bring your soles of the feet together and your knees open. Or you can have your knees together and feet as wide as the mat. Okay, now let your eyes close. Take a breath in to the rib cage, into the belly. And I want you to also to think about breathing into the chest, the back of the body, and the sides of the body. All these places we've highlighted throughout the class. Use your Ujjayi breath if you have it. As you exhale, relax into the block. So go in your own pace. Breathing in, belly, chest, rib cage, back, front, sides, all expanding. Breathing out, just surrendering into the block. 4 or 5 more times like that. Really feeling the expansion in your body. Especially the sides. So this round, especially the sides. How can you get the sides to expand? As you exhale, soften. So with that breath in, feeling the expansion, know that this is like a workout for all the muscles that help your lungs. So if we can get these muscles working well, your lungs are always going to get a helping hand when they need it. Two more breaths. If you need to adjust your legs, you can change them. Especially the sides. Can you expand into those sides? Last one. Good. So if your knees are open, bring your knees up. We'll roll over so you can come up off the block. Take the block away. Lay down onto your mat. Just notice, has that changed anything? Yeah, so is it much easier to rest on the mat now? And then have your feet in line with your hips. Lift your hips up. I'm just going to place the block on its lower edge underneath the sacrum. And then once you're there, you can hug your knees into your chest. Take your arms over the tops of the shins. And then I like to just rock from side to side, pressing the sacrum into the block. Just noticing how that feels. A few things before we finish. Just extend your left leg out in front. Keep hold of the right leg. And stretch out the left hip flexor there. You can let your left toes fall out to the side. Just relax the leg. And keeping hold of that right leg though. Breathing in. You can always have this left knee bent if it's too intense. And then bringing the left knee in. Extending the right leg out in front. Might take a little while to let that right hip relax. And right toes are melting outwards. All your awareness to that right hip flexor. If it's uncomfortable in your back, take the block away. And you can always bend the right leg as well if you need. One more breath. Bring both knees back into the chest then. We take a happy baby like this again. If the block is not helping you here, then just take it away. Otherwise, you can press the sacrum, press the tailbone down into the block. Holding onto the outer edges of the feet. Long breath in. And a long breath out. Last thing. Now, keep the block there if it suits you. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees open, arms up and over your head. That's it. Try and relax the spine. Again, take the block away if it's not helping. Eyes closed. Bring it back to the breathing. Enjoy your breath if that's working well for you. Three more long, slow breaths. The front, the back, the sides expanding. And when you can create more space within your chest, as you breathe, the lungs are going to be able to expand more. So everything's getting a little workout. Inhaling, front, sides, back. And of course, if that block is troublesome, you'll take it away. So you've been here a little while. Be careful as you bring your knees back up to the center. Then you can place your feet back down onto the mat. Lift the hips up and then lower the spine down. Just put the block to the side for a moment. You'll need it in a minute. Hug the knees in. Rock from side to side. Your last little twist. Now you can make it more intense by crossing the legs. Otherwise, knees together, let both knees fall to the right. Or you could cross the left leg over the right and then let both knees fall to the right. Yeah. So see what you need. You might have found a little bit more space and then crossing the legs is a little bit more appealing. Otherwise, have your legs uncrossed. Big breath in. Long breath out. We won't stay here too long now. So bring the knees back into the center. Uncross the legs if you cross them. We're going to cross the right leg over the left if you are crossing them, and then let both knees fall to the left. So maybe this side still feels tighter than the other side. It does for me for some reason. Breath in, relax into it. Relax and accept wherever you're at. And then release and come back to the center. All right, now you can take your legs out to the corners of the mat. If you want to take a minute to put a blanket over you, do that. And then you can put the block on its high edge for a moment. Yeah, so the block is kind of, it's just above the neckline, where the hair starts, the hairline. So it's not on your neck. The occiput there is supporting the head and the block. So once you've got comfortable, maybe you've put your blanket on. And then the block is there, and hopefully that feels comfortable. You can just let the head swing from side to side. And then when you feel ready, you find stillness. Maybe you can be here for a few breaths and then take the block onto its lower edge. Yeah, unless you're comfortable to be here for the whole time. So the next few moments, lying in stillness, eyes closed. Can you relax your jaw here? How does that change it when you relax your jaw? Maybe you can feel more of the shoulder blades on the mat. You can have a little rhythm with the breath to start with, so that anchors you to stay in this moment. Okay, or maybe you're ready just to let go of the breath. Settle into the stretch. And you're adjusting that block whenever you want to, whenever you need to. Enjoy the stillness and the quiet just for the next few moments. And if there isn't quiet in your house, maybe you can just try and practice that blocking out of those noises, blocking them out. You can make your breath louder than those noises if need be. You might be able to continue your Shavasana from here. So that would be ideal if you could spend a little bit longer. If you're ready to get moving, you can start to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. You're transitioning now slowly back into your day. Do a yawn, take the block away if you haven't already. Nice big yawn, reaching the arms above the head. Now you can roll over to the right side into your fetal shape. You're keeping your eyes closed as you come up to seated to face the front. Once you've got there, hands together, thumbs into the chest bone. You have managed to take time for yourself today. So remember that as you move throughout your day, your body is free and mobile. You've relieved tension and stress. So now move slowly, mindfully, peacefully through the rest of your day. Breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Take your time, guys. See you soon. Bye, Barbara. Bye, Manon. Lovely to see you. Bye, Sherry. See you soon. Bye, Kathy.